have cracked the code to making the right decisions daily, leading you straight to guaranteed success. Have you ever found yourself in decision-making ruts, wondering which path to choose? The choices we make daily have a profound impact on our long-term success. So how can you ensure you are making the right decisions? Welcome to today's video. It's your girl Maryann, where we will dive deep into the art of decision making. The art of decision making is a process of identifying and choosing alternatives based on your values, preference, and beliefs. It's a skill that can be learned and improved. In this video, we will explore how mastering the art can shape the trajectory of your life. Making the right decision is crucial for achieving your goals and fulfilling your potentials. Now let's address the common hurdles that often trip us up regarding decision making. One common challenge is the fear of failure, which can hold us back from making decisions. To overcome this, try reframing failure as a learning opportunity. Another challenge we often see every day of our life is indecisiveness. We meet this every day. Indecisiveness. To combat this, set a deadline for your decision-making process. And final challenge that we often face in our daily lives is the lack of clarity. A lack of clarity can hinder our progress, because when we are not clear on what do we really want, we don't really know the right steps to take, the right decisions to make. So to gain clarity, try visualizing the potential outcomes of your decisions. The things you decide. Visualizing it. These strategies can help you overcome these challenges and reach your full potential. So now, how can you make better decisions each day? The truth is, it starts with setting clear goals and priorities. The first step to take here is you identifying your long-term goals. Do you have a long-term goals? And if you don't have, start now to set it. Like a goal you can achieve in the next 5 years. You will become this, or you will achieve this in the next 2 years, in the next 3 years, in the next 5 years. Some set long-term goals up to 10 years. What do you want to achieve in the next year, or the next 5 years, or even the next 10 years? What are those things? Identify them and put them down. So the next thing, as you identify your long-term goals, the next thing you need to do is break these goals down into smaller, actionable steps. And the third step you need to take in order to make these things work for you is prioritize these steps based on their importance and urgency. The truth here is there are things you do you think is important, but they are not really important because they are not even part of the goals you want to achieve, and you classify it as important. So according to what I said in this step, prioritize these steps based on their importance and urgency. So anything that is not within that goal is not important. That is what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. I hope you got me. Yeah. Let's move on. So by knowing what you want to achieve and having a clear plan, you can make choices that align with your aspirations. The final one I have for you here is that it can help you make more informed choices by gathering as much information as possible and considering the long-term consequences of your decisions. Because when you consider the long-term consequences, then that is what will propel you into I think I'm in the right track, or I think I'm doing something else off. So it will propel you But remember, it's not just making decisions. It's about making the right decisions. A lot of us make decisions, but the decisions are not right decisions. It's so challenging. We know that. One thing I would like to let you know is that taking risk and stepping out of your comfort zone can sometimes lead to great rewards. One thing I would like to let you know when making decisions is that you have to trust your instinct. The world calls it instinct. I call it spirit, my spirit. You have to trust your instinct or your spirit when they communicate to you, because they communicate to us. They communicate to us all the time. But the problem there is that we don't even trust that one. We trust the outside, the one that comes from. We don't really trust what's come from inside, because we condemn our own self, thinking we are not worth it. No, you can make better decisions. Just listen to your guide, listen to your spirit. The spirit is your guide. It's there to guide you into all things. Another thing is you need to rely on logic and reasoning, because sometimes we do not get it right. This is how I exercise my brain. Sometimes we have different kinds of people in the world. There are people who, when they speak, you understand what they say perfectly without struggling to think about it. There are people who speak, you struggle to understand what they are saying. So instead of you just nodding. So what I do is very simple. I start processing those words. I start thinking what they are saying within me. And that I don't know, but this is how I do it. So when I'm thinking it, if it's not rhyming, I will pause a bit and ask them. I will ask them a question based on what I thought that moment. And when they answer me, I say, okay, I'm getting it. If it rhymes with what is going on in my brain, I know that I'm getting it. But if it's not rhyming, I'll now ask another question. This is the way I'll keep asking that will direct. Even the person themselves sometimes don't know that it's difficult for them to. They may think they are communicating, you understand, but in reality they are not, because people around them are struggling to understand what they are saying. And when people struggle to understand what they are saying, you can't really get much out of that conversation, because they can't really say anything because they don't understand it. So I use logic and reasoning as well when doing things. And I want you to remember that the potential for great rewards is within your grasp. So always bear that in mind. Always bear it in mind. So this moment, allow me to share a personal journey that vividly illustrates the power of consistent decision making. A few years back, I was in a crossroads in my career. I had the option to stay in a comfortable job or take a risk and raise a family. This decision was particularly challenging because it significantly changed my lifestyle. By meticulously evaluating my options and contemplating on the long-term ramifications, I made a decision that propelled me to success. This anecdote is a poignant reminder that every decision shapes our future, and the power of consistent decision making can lead to significant personal and professional growth. So the key to assured success is making the right daily decisions. By surmounting common pitfalls, setting clear goals, and being cognizant of the consequences, you can pave the way for a brighter future. So remember, each choice you make is a stepping stone towards your dreams, empowering you to control your destiny. Now I invite you to apply these videos' insight to your decision-making process. Your experiences are valuable, and I encourage you to share them in the comment section below. Let's foster a mutual learning and growth community. Remember to subscribe for more content on personal development. Together, let's make each day a step towards success So thank you for being part of this journey. I really do appreciate. Thank you for everything, and I'll be seeing you in the following video. Bye.
Seasons come and go like thoughts of you, like a wave returns to the sea.